We just picked up this 1991 Polaris Trail Boss here, and it's been sitting for 28 years according to the previous owner, and he brought it out of a barn that he had it stored in, and it is in great shape. Barely any wear on it. Now, he said that it was his wife's, and they only used it to kind of go back to the camp once in a while. Then he stored it. And I can say that they didn't use it too much there, because, boy, even the foot pedals still got fresh paint on it. No wear. All the original tires. This one has a little bit of a weather cracks in it, not too bad. But the plastics are excellent shape. And the seat, besides that little stain there. Yeah, he said he stored this in 1996. Never ran it again after that. So we're gonna have to get it going. I did pull on it to make sure that it was still free, and there's a lot of noise over here, like a rat's nest or a whole bunch of nuts from a squirrel. You don't find them in this condition too often. Still got the toolkit, and it still has the spring hold down for the toolkit underneath the seat there. So we're gonna have to tear that side cover apart and start digging into it here. Clean the carburetor. Well, let's take that side cover off over there and see how bad that is. Okay, I got that cover all loose there, but to get it out, I'm gonna take the back fenders off here. Got the 4 bolts out, and I got the screws that hold it to the running board off. Maybe that'll give me enough room just to kind of lift it, or I'll have to take the rack off, just take it all right off so I can really get a good look in there. And now we got the back plastics all off it here. It really opens it up. So now I got it all loosened up here. So I'll just pull it off. See how bad it is in here. And you can hear some stuff falling around. That's a lot of nuts. Looks like it was a squirrel nest, or it could be mice. Looks like I'll have to clean up those pulleys there a little bit. I'll have to clean up the faces on those pulleys there. I have to lube up the shaft in there. Yeah, it looks pretty rusty. So I'll get this all out of here and we'll see how bad it is. And I think I just found the culprit of all this. It was stuck in the clutch here. What's left of them. Yeah. A mouse. I'll get this all cleaned up here. And we'll see if we can move these clutches at all here. I got that all cleaned up there. I'm going to start taking apart get the fuel tank out of the way here. And see what's inside that air box then. See, they had the foam underneath the top plastic there, plastic cover. And it looks like they had another foam filter, pre-filter around the air box. That's long gone. And now we got the tank all off and the air box out here. There was another little rat nest in the not the air box, but the intake above it. And I did put a little penetrating spray down in there. Not penetrating, but put a little WD-40 down in there just to kind of make sure everything kind of lubed up a little bit while I'm turning this over or anything. Been dry for a long time. And I had the original, well, the original everything. And boy, that fuel line is hard as a rock. Well, let's do a quick compression test here. I'll hold the throttle wide open there and pull it over. See what we get. There we go, 150 on the compression, so that's real good. So I guess now the next thing there is, see, we got some spark there, maybe throw a battery in it or something, or a jumper onto the dead battery. And throw a little gas down in there, mixed gas, or, well, it doesn't have to be mixed, just to hear it pop off. Yeah, we got the jumper hooked up to it here. We're gonna test for the spark here. Switch it on. Yep. Let's see if we'll get anything. I get no spark there. Oh, that's because that's off. That should be run. Plenty of spark. So we'll put some gas in it. Yeah, I just put some fuel in it there, and we'll see if it fires up here. Yeah, fired right up. So now we need to get a more permanent gas. Yeah, it fired right up. All I did was just put some gas right in the carburetor there. And it seems to be smoking enough. So it looks like the injection is still working good. I see it still had a full tank of oil up there. Yeah, so now just trying to free those up, clean them up. Might pull that carb off there and check it, clean it. But it sounds pretty good. I don't even know if I'll have to change the crank seals on it or not. I do have another set of crank seals just in case. And then try to get the hydraulic front brakes to work. And it does have a hydraulic caliper on that transmission too, that runs off of the same one. Well, we're starting to get it back together now. Got the clutch cover on and everything. did clean up that clutch. It was stuck and needed to be cleaned on the secondary clutch where the belt goes. Had to free up the rollers and stuff there for the weights. Wasn't too bad. So put the rear fenders back on the rack. Then I had to order up a new petcock for the fuel tank because that one was leaking pretty good there. I took it apart and looked at the seal in it, and it was pretty bad, and you can't really get a rebuild kit for these petcocks, so I had to order a whole new one. And the thing when you order one for this, you got to make sure that it's short enough up to the tank, or else you can't put the shut-off handle extension onto it. Hang it down too far. So I got a nice short one here, universal for a lot of different ones. So we'll throw that on the tank, and then I can get the fuel line ran and get all the plastics back on the tank, and then we can take it out for a spin. Also had to put a tube in this front tire here, so that came in. I threw that tube in, and surprisingly the brakes still had fluid in the master cylinder. I thought it would be all turned to powder and I'd have to really go through it and clean it, but all I had to do was bleed the front brakes because it didn't feel like it had anything when you pumped it. Now it's nice and firm. Just had to bleed the front brakes just a little bit of air in them, and the rear brake caliper. And you got to be very careful with those bleeder valves on those. They break very easily. But these ones surprisingly came loose easy. So I put a little anti-seize on the threads on them. So we'll get this all back together now. Yeah, there, it's all back together now. Took it out for a little drive there and run pretty good. And it's pretty quiet. This is the quietest 250 I've heard in a while. Yeah, it's nice and quiet. Gotta get those stains out of that seat. I don't think we're gonna be able to get that out. But yeah, been sitting in a barn, a chicken coop for about 28 years. And the guy only put like 250 miles on it because he bought it brand new. So it's like a brand new four-wheeler. I try to do a little video on this. Kind of hard to drive when you got one hand, but there goes. idle might be down a little bit too much there. Might have to adjust that idle up a little bit. He's snappy. Runs real good. Took it down the road too. Test it out at high speed. And I see this model doesn't have the low range in it. Just neutral, reverse, and high. I guess they only put the low in probably the four-wheel drive models. Maybe the 2x4 models. I don't know. And it's got the button here to override the rev limiter when going into reverse. Shut the fuel off all the time there. Just to make sure that it doesn't leak out at all. But yeah, that's looking real good. So we'll probably get rid of a couple other four-wheelers that we got. Keep this one, since it's in almost brand new condition. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.